Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super speculation, discussion, theory video. You know, it's just all over the place. And I am once again joined by, because this guy has been sick. He's been on his deathbed the last couple of days. Actually, that's like really dark. I don't want to go there. But anyway, say hello once again to MJ from GeekListTV. MJ, it's so nice to have you back, man. Oh my god, I've been dying without you. I know everyone from the channel has been dying without your voice, man. How are you?
It's funny because you make it seem like I haven't been on your channel, but I have. It's just their videos we recorded like, 2 weeks ago. Stuff like that. So, we're finally back in the zone. I'm back. I feel like $1,000,000. I just hit 9,000 subs, just to put that out there.
This guy.
So make sure you go sub to me. Road to 10K. I'm just kidding. You know what they
throw that out there.
You know what they say, right? When you start to get big, you get a big ego, bro. That's oh my god, I don't know what I'm turning into. I don't know.
Your ego is over 9,000. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, I didn't even think of that. You saved me on that. Great joke. Let's get into this topic.
Anyway, guys, we're going to be talking today about whether or not, or even more generally, like what is going on outside of the Tournament of Power. Because let's see, if you want to tell a compelling story, and taking Super as an example, they probably might not do this. But, most stories want A plot, B plot, C plot, D plot even. I mean, even if you're a 30-minute anime show where you only have like 18 minutes or so of new content every single week, you want enough content filling up the screens to allow the show or story to be pushed out a little bit further, give us a better sense of everything that's going on. And there's some things that kind of are pushing my buttons right now, and I'm sure MJ as well. We are discussing whether or not they're going to be cutting back to people like Bulma or Goten and Trunks and Marin on the Poacher planet, or, Dende and Mr. Popo, or Mr. Satan, or anybody who's not there right now watching this damn thing. Because as you and I speculated a couple times before this coming tournament, MJ, you and I were speculating, like, are they actually going to have people go into the tournament with them? Are there going to be spectators other than the gods? And it looks like from episode 96, nope, there's just not going to be anyone besides the gods watching this thing. Are they going to be watching? Are they going to be doing other things? Do you feel like the send-off that they gave us was a little bit less than we really expected? I mean, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, before I get into the whole if they're going to be cutting back to the other characters that are on Earth, I do think the send-off was a bit underwhelming. I think it should have been a bit larger. Like, I understand Satan's a busy person. I understand he's with Boo. I understand Pan and Videl might have been doing something. I just think they should have been there. I mean, it's like they already know that this could be the end of the universe. Not just the Earth, the end of the universe. So I just think they should have been there, like, to kind of send them off. I don't know why Toei just catered specifically to Vegeta and Bulma, where they have their moment of Vegeta's looking down to her and she's like, very sad. I mean, why couldn't we get that with Gohan and Pan and Videl? Why couldn't we get that with Goku and Chi-Chi, etc., etc.? So, I think a bit underwhelming. My opinion. I mean, people can have different opinions on that. It's up to you guys. But me and you seem to agree on that. But moving on, yeah, I think so. It's not just the story part. I think it's just Toei themselves. Like, I'm not a huge animation guy. If you want to, follow World King Kanji on Twitter, follow his YouTube, make sure you go check out Anime AJ. Those guys cover animation. They know the aspects, the in and outs of like Toei and all that. But when you want to make a tournament and when you want to have episodes that look good, you're going to need some slower episodes. So I can definitely see them wanting to take like a week off and kind of just go to like the island and not have to do so much fighting in one single episode. So you can just have like Goten and Trunks beat up a couple poachers, like during one part of the episode, and you just take it from there. I can definitely see them doing that, just not from the story point of view, but also just to break away from the tournament, because we're talking about like 80 episodes of nonstop. 80 episodes. We're talking about a tournament with 80 fighters of nonstop action. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, really, when you ask me, is that's something I want to see personally. we have this situation where we have Goten and Trunks and Marin doing their own thing. Stuff that could easily take up an episode or two. I mean, like you said before we started recording, it's not that we already didn't see Goku in 17 take out the poachers, but we were given indication that this was going to be at least somewhat of a interesting dynamic between these small group of kids going into this particular subplot if they decide to actually do it. Because even 17 be like, Marin is more formidable than she looks. And of course we already know that Goten and Trunks are definitely stronger than those poachers, so it's just going to be really interesting to see if they even decide to play that out.
Let me cut in real quick. When 18 said that, I just got this image in my head of them trying to like capture Marin like hostage, because they know they can't like beat up Goten and Trunks in a straight fight, so they're holding the gun like to her. Like, I don't want to say to her, hey, it's a kid's show, but they're holding the gun like next to her, and then Marin's like just like smiling, and she grabs the tip of the gun and just bends it. That would be so freaking awesome.
Mark out moments. Marin.
That would be so awesome, and that right there would just make up for them leaving the tournament for one episode. I just want something badass like that to happen, or just like a gag moment where she kicks one of the poachers and he just goes flying, ding, into the sky.
Yeah. Of course, that would also make a lot of sense considering her heritage. I mean, just her parents in general, she should be much stronger than the average human, just by birth. I mean, if the Saiyans are anything to go on.
The average human, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Saiyans are never anything to really go on. There's no telling just how strong any child's gonna be. But anyway, I feel like that's something, like you said, they kind of introduced probably just to give us some context for where other characters are going to be. And I'm just kind of fearful myself that they're going to pull another Champa arc situation where they just kind of go, well, Gohan's off doing his own thing and everyone else is doing their own thing, but we're never going to cut away from it. Whenever we cut away from anything, it's going to be within that tournament region. It's going to be either someone else fighting someone else, or the gods freaking out, or talking amongst each other, or plotting and everything. And I'm sure that works, but at the same time, I mean, we just need a slowed down pace, because you can talk about like animation, and you're going to just need slower episodes in order to do much more awesome animation going forward with this series. But the truth is you also really want to slow down the series so that manga can catch up. Because look, as much as we want to sit there and criticize the manga or say that it has nothing really to do with the overall scope of the story and it's its own story entirely, that might be true. But I still don't think they ever came out and said that the manga is no longer what its original purpose was, and was to, I guess, be a promotional material for the anime, and it just hasn't been, like, at all. And then Toritaro said that, the tournament would be starting in the manga before it actually started in the anime. I don't know how that's true anymore, but we're just gonna have to wait and see whether that is true or not. But they have the potential now, with all the stories and all the aspects going into this particular fight, to make it something that can last 20, 30, 40 episodes if they want, and give us something really epic and not just something really quick and kind of fun to look at, but with no substance.
I completely agree with you, but I'm about to pop you right here. I am going to pop you with this. So, literally, while we're talking, I'm on episode 96 right now on Crunchyroll. While we're talking, I'm looking at the episode, and I just noticed this. When they arrive, Kibito is not with them. So, it looks like only the Supreme Kais went. So, the Elder Kai, and then, of course, Shin. Now, I'm going to paint a picture for you. Imagine episode 97, I believe. Tons of action. We're talking fast-paced action, beginning to end. Paints a picture of what the tournament power is going to be like for the next few episodes. Episode 98 cuts back to Earth. We pick up where they left off, Bulma and them. And then she sees Yamcha, and they're like, man, I wish I could, if I can't participate, at least I could watch it. I want to root for our team. And Bulma's like, me too. So then they get the idea that maybe they could like somehow view it from the lookout, the heavenly realm. So they get on a plane, or an aircraft, fly up to the heavenly realm to meet up with Dende. They ask Dende if there's any way they can view it. He's like, Shin
knows the instant transmission.
But get this. Kibito also knows it, so Kibito could show up, give them the little orb or something like that. Maybe like Elder Kai left it behind, and they can watch it that way. I think that would be very cool for them to do, and kind of give Bulma and them something to do. And as the Tournament of Power continues, maybe, just maybe, you can kind of get other people going up there. Like you kind of get like Videl, Pan, and Satan going up there in one of their aircrafts. I mean, I'm sure they have a Capsule Corp aircraft going up there. And then maybe towards the end, you have like Goten and Trunks and Marin, you know, like show up, and they're there to watch like the final round, or like the final few guys that are left. Like just kind of build it up like that. I think that would be like really badass, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, no, I think that definitely pops me, but you and I have discussed this on our videos before, that's something we'd like to see, kind of utilizing GodTube, and also making the joke that Gawasu's going to be just basically doing nothing but streaming this entire tournament. and so they're going to be able to watch it on GodTube. That's just a joke that they definitely should make going into this. But yeah, like having Goten and Trunks and Marin make their way up there at some point, Videl and Boo and Mr. Satan, the Briefs family, everybody. And then at the end, you know, Chi-Chi, Ox King, all this, and then just have one of those things that we had at the end of the Boo arc where after all is said and done, they all come back.
Okay. I remember we did have this conversation before.
Yeah, like they all come back to the lookout, and they have their own thing. I'm sure that was like your idea when we first talked about it, but like that's like the like kind of send off, kind of the circular story type of thing where they all kind of celebrate how all of this basically turned out and everything's gonna be just okay. And who knows what's really going to happen throughout that. But the thing is yeah, they're going to need to not just completely interrupt, or I guess have this story where there's just nothing but the tournament going on. First of all, it's too fast paced. You can't necessarily break it up with one fight versus another fight. Even if you do, it's going to have really, really liberal cinematic timing, where even at the end of all this, maybe even the 5-minute mark that Frieza gave on Namek is going to feel like child's play. You need to break it up with other things, and you can't just stay in the world of the Void. It's not necessarily the most intriguing area, although there might be a lot of intriguing characters. You don't necessarily get the full scope of everything that's going on, or even the impact that everything is going on that's having on the other universes. And considering the fact that this is called the Universe Survival Arc, and the stakes going into this particular arc, you need to see that, whether it's from Universe 7 or Universe 9 or any of these other universes, actually viewing the events of this tournament. Because one of the things they did show us a couple episodes ago from Universe 9 is that the people in Universe 9 seem to be aware of everything that's going on. You know, the Trio of Danger basically sitting there going, you know, they're trying to figure out a way to go to other universes. First of all, that was really weird dialogue, but it shows that even an entire city, a complete, you know, unbeknownst planet that we've never met before, understood what was going on and was trying to escape or freaking out about the process. Potentially other universes know about this, and seeing them react to their teams losing adds a whole lot of interesting dynamic and drama to this particular fight.
Well, let's not even keep it to Earth. I completely agree with that. I love that. Let's not even keep it with Earth. Let's actually like get creative with this, because I'm sure if Toei wants this like tournament to last at least 10 episodes, or maybe even like longer, like to 15, they're gonna have to get a bit creative. And what I mean by that is, let's say like in the first half, it focuses on Kaba and who he's fighting, right? Well, then Kaba meets his match around half point, someone throws him off. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard the saying, you know, like when your life flashes before your eyes. They could do something where that whole later half of that episode is an entire flashback about Kaba and like his life. So, you know, Kaba's about to fall off, and he's realizing that, you know, he messed up. He couldn't save his universe. So he starts to think of Renzo, because Renzo told him, as long as you're here, the universe will be safe. And then, like, you know, we kind of get like a zoom into like his eye, and we get a zoom into like a flashback, and the flashback is like them like on some mission, and that's the mission where like Renzo, messes up his leg, and that's where he like kind of like appoints Kaba to be the next in command, and like kind of like leading all up to how Kaba feels like he fell. Like they can be creative and do stuff like that, you know what I mean? And that could take away from the tournament, itself. Just kind of like a flashback. Have that, like, you can even do a whole freaking episode as a flashback. I mean, they've done it as Z, so you could even do that if you want to. Also, because you got to think about it like this, again, going from an animation standpoint, one of the cool things about the build up to this tournament was all the different places Goku visited and all the different backgrounds we got. Like, a lot of the backgrounds are cool, man. Like the Goku versus 17 fight with the sunset over the ocean, Goku and Gohan with the stars and the mountains, you know what I mean? Tenshinhan with the mountain ranges and those villages. Like, very cool backgrounds, very cool stuff. It'll get a bit boring if, like, for 25 episodes straight it's nothing but black. You know what I mean? Like, as the background. It would be cool to get some cutaway scenes, get some flashbacks, go back to Earth, go back to Universe 6, stuff like that,
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, and that's something that we definitely need. I guess the last question I have here for you is just in general. So we've seen the fighters, episode 96 saw Universe 7 and all the other universes go to the other universes. And I'm sure this is a video for another time, but just general thoughts. Do you think that what was it, like 77 and 96, almost 20 episodes of build-up leading up to this particular tournament, or the start, or at least all the gatherings of the teams in the World of the Void, do you think that was good enough? Do you think that we got enough character development from everyone who's going to be important? And do you feel like the send-off that we got from everyone was lackluster, like, considering the stakes of this arc? And to put it into perspective, I can't remember who commented on my video, was talking about this, one of my recent videos, and I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you hear this, please make sure to go down in the comment section below and tell me whether you think this. He was complaining that there was too much, or there was a lack of build-up for the stakes of this particular tournament. Everyone at Universe 7 at this point knows what's going on, at least they have known for a couple of hours. And although there's a difference between like a couple hours and a couple days leading up to the Cell games, we still got a couple episodes of filler where we got to see everyone relaxing and having like a good old time before everything was potentially going to end in a couple days. So, I mean, just based off of that, do you feel like they handled it well with the send-off, or do you think that they could have done something differently?
I think the build-up was fine. The send-off I already mentioned earlier was underwhelming, but I thought the send-off, I thought the build-up was completely fine. Aside from a couple episodes with a few issues that I had, I think it was cool. And I mean, they kind of did the opposite of what the Boo arc did. I mean, Universe 9's kind of the whole Boo arc stuff is kind of happening with Universe 9, where people found out about the situation and they're going crazy, you know what I mean? Whereas in the Boo arc, that kind of happened. People found out about Boo, the end of the world. Babidi was making people like close their eyes and see like mass genocides and shit. So people went crazy. They were like killing people. I'm sure you saw that. I'm sure you guys remember the manga panel in the anime where that old, this guys go on that fucking rampage and they kill that elderly woman and that elderly man. So people were going crazy in the Boo arc. Here, I believe it's specifically stated, right, that Gohan, I think, tells Goku not to let this get out because, the people would like go crazy or the people would worry. Like, I think he literally mentioned the people. I don't think he was just talking about the inner circle, like the gang. I think he was talking about the world itself could go crazy or could freak out about it. So I think they handled that well, you know what I mean? I thought that was a cool thing because Gohan kind of witnessed what happened in the Boo arc. So it's kind of, here, kind of like keep it on the DL, you know what I mean? Keep this down below. I thought that was a nice way to approach this, Everything was fine with me. Like, I like the build up to it. I just hope the tournament delivers.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. But anyway, anything else that you want to say before we close it out?
I don't.
Okay, then. Anyway, guys, please make sure to share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Like always, MJ's link will be in the description section below, so make sure to go check him out. because the guy makes some really awesome content, unless he's sick and then he doesn't necessarily upload for a couple days, but that's rare, if ever. You know, that would never happen, honestly. So, guys, that being said, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Make sure to share it out to all your friends if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit that bell over by the subscriber button. That's going to notify you every single time I upload, because you don't want to miss anything on this channel. Anyway, guys, we're going to catch you on the next video. Bye.